Hello everybody, and welcome to the video notes for Unit 2, Day 16. And today we're going to be talking about divisibility rules. Happy Halloween, and today's video is dedicated to Diego Silva in 6B. Hi Diego. For our opening exercise, what we did is we sorted all of these numbers into the numbers that they can be divided by, which we call factors. And if you haven't already done so, you can go ahead and check your work with what I've done here. And after you're done checking the video, you can continue. When you're trying to figure out if a number can be divided by another number, like if 2 is a factor of 115, one way is you can use mental math, you can use a calculator, you can try dividing out, but there are also a lot of shortcuts that you can use to figure it out, and that's what we're going to be going through today, what those shortcuts are. So for the number 2, a number can be divided by 2 if, right, it is even. And what we mean by even is numbers that end. So it ends in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. Those are all of our even numbers. So an example might be 62, because it ends in a 2. That's an even number. Or 8,758. It ends in an even number, which is a 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. So both of those are divisible by 2. A non-example might be 63, because that ends in a 3. That's not an even number. Or 8,759. It ends in a 9. 9 is an odd number. It can't be divided by 2. A number can be divided by 3 if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. And so what that means is if you have a number and you add up all of the digits in that number, and that sum can be divided by 3, then the number itself is divisible by 3. Here's what I mean. Let's say I have the number 252. If I want to check if this number can be divided by 3, I have to add up each of these numbers. So that would be 2 plus 5 plus 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. So all of these numbers added up together equal 9, and I check, can I divide 9 by 3? Yes, I can. That works. But let's say if my number was 254, I would add up all the numbers. 2 plus 5 plus 4. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. Can 11 be divided by 3? It can't. So I know that 254 cannot be divisible by 3. Let's look at the next one. A number can be divided by 4 if the last two digits are divisible by 4. An example of this is 200, and let's pick any number, any two-digit number that can be divided by 4. So like 4 times 8 is 32, so 232. This works because the last two digits, 32, can be divisible by 4. Let's try one more, like 10,900 and let's do 48. Right? This works because the last two digits, 48, can be divided by 4, so the whole number can be divided by 4. Some non-examples. If I had 234, right? 34, can that be divided by 4? It can't, so that doesn't work. Or if I had 10,938, 38, can that be divided by 4 evenly? No, it can't, so that doesn't work. These ones do. For 5, the rule for 5s you might already know. A number can be divided by 5 if it ends in 0 or 5. Some examples: 370, it ends in a 0, or 800,000 and 125. That ends in a 5. That means the whole number can be divided by 5. Non-examples: 373, that ends in a 3. That's not a 0 or a 5. That doesn't work. Or 800,124, that ends in a 4. That's not a 0 or a 5. That doesn't work. Moving on, a number can be divided by 6 if it can be divided by 2 and 3. So let's go back to our rules for 2 and 3. It works with 2 if it ends in 24680. And it works with 3 if the sum of the numbers can be divided by 3. So it has to fit both of those rules, then it can be divided by 6. So some examples are 600 and 24. I know this works because it's an even number, so it can be divided by 2, right? The last digit's a 4. And then I can check. 6 plus 2 plus 4. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. Can 12 be divided by 3? Yes, it can. So I know that 624 is also divisible by 3. So it's divisible by 2 and 3. Therefore, it's divisible by 6. But let's say I had the number 622. 622, I can divide it by 2 because it's an even number, but let's do the check for 3. 6 plus 2 plus 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. Can I divide 10 by 3? No, I cannot. So that is not divisible by 6. 3 more to go. A number can be divided by 8 if the last 3 digits can be divided by 8. 8's a little trickier, but we also don't use the 8 rule as much. But let's say my number was 856, or sorry, 1,856. I would just look at the last 3 digits and check, can I divide 8 into 856? Well, 800 can be divided by 8, so that works. 56 can also be divided by 8 because 8 times 7 is 56. That works. But let's say if I had 1,847, That would not work because I would check 847. 8 can go into 800, that works, but can 8 go into 47? It can't, so that doesn't work. 2 more to go. The rules for 9. A number can be divided by 9 if the sum of the digits is divisible by 9. So for example, let's try 927. Can that be divided by 9? Let's check. Let's add up the digits. 9 plus 2 plus 7 equals, 9 plus 2 is 11, 11 plus 7 is 18, and 18, can that be divided by 9? Yes, it can. 18 divided by 9 equals 2. That works. Now, let's say our number was 925. We would add up the digits to see if it can be divided by 9. 9 plus 2 plus 5. 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 plus 5 is 16. Can I divide 16 by 9? I can't. So that means 925 is not divisible by 9. Last one, and I think it's the easiest. A number is divisible by 10 if it ends in 0. Examples: 70, that can be divided by 10. 2,840, that ends in a 0, that can be divided by 10. Non-examples: 75, doesn't end in a 0. 2,843, doesn't end in a 0, doesn't work. Now that we have all of these rules, right, you're going to keep referring back to this part of your notes on page 2 as you complete the rest of your exercises today. So keep these notes handy, and now let's take a look at our class examples. We'll do the first one together, and then you'll do the next two on your own. Is 3,822 divisible by 3? Well, let's check our rules. So for 3, it's divisible by 3 if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. Right? So we had to add up all the numbers and see if that sum was divisible by 3. So let's do that right now. 3,822, that's going to be 3 plus 8 plus 2 plus 2, adding up all the numbers. 3 plus 8 is 11. 11 plus 2 is 13. 13 plus 2 is 15. So all of this equals 15. And then can 15 be divided by 3? Yes, it can. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So we would say, yes, it can be divisible because 15 is divisible by 3. Now what I want you to do is look at these next two, right? Is it divisible by 4? Is it divisible by 9? Use your notes. Go back to your notes, use the rules, and you're going to pause and finish these two on your own. Pause and finish these two. Go. Now you are resuming the video after you have tried these two on your own. Using our notes here, 3,822, is it divisible by 4? Here's how we check. The rule for 4 is if the last two digits are divisible by 4. Are the last two digits divisible by 4? The last two digits are 22. And so I check. Can I divide 22 by 4? I can't. So I'd say, nope, this one doesn't work because 22 cannot be divided by 4. 3,822 divisible by 9. Check our notes. The rule for 9 is if the sum of the digits is divisible by 9. So let's check the sum of the digits. 3 plus 8 plus 2 plus 2. Well, we already did it right over here. 3 plus 8 plus 2 plus 2 is 15. Can I divide 15 by 9? I can't. So in this case, it is not divisible. The number is not divisible by 9 because 15 is not divisible by 9. All right. And with that, don't forget, please rate yourself. A lot of you are still forgetting to rate yourself. This is the easiest part. Just look through each of these and circle how you felt today when you were doing these two problems. And with that,